What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Friday, December 13th, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is just before midnight Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from here in the United States tonight. So it appears that we're under some kind of a drone invasion. We're hearing reports of drones and unidentified flying objects being reported all across the United States tonight. And we have some new reports coming in from Cape Cod and Maine, also from the West Coast. And apparently also multiple drones flew over the Earl Naval Weapons Station in New Jersey. So this is extremely concerning. And last night, somebody reported to police that a drone crashed in their backyard. And then when the police showed up, 10 drones appeared out of nowhere. So let me just play some video footage for you. This is coming from Cape Cod. You can see the beach here, and you can see these white orbs above the horizon. Guys, these could be UFOs and not drones, okay? The White House is saying that the objects in the sky are not drones, okay? So this could be some kind of an alien invasion. Let me just play this for you.
Smugglers Beach, Yarmouth, Mass, Cape Cod. I spotted some of these drones right on the beach side. They're moving right across.
So you got 3 of them right there. And what's interesting about these is that they don't have any strobe lights. Like a lot of these videos I've seen on social media are literally just planes that people are filming, and they're claiming that they're drones and they're freaking out for no reason. But these don't have any strobe lights. They're just like orbs floating in the sky. And this is what a lot of Air Force pilots here in the U.S. have reported seeing, are these orbs, and they'll actually travel several miles a second, and sometimes they'll get very close to our Air Force pilots. And it got so bad that the U.S. military had to open an investigation into these orb sightings by Air Force pilots, fighter pilots. This is very strange, guys. Look at this. I've never seen anything like that before, guys. Wow. Just those 2 orbs floating there. Absolutely insane. And then a 3rd one up there, it looks like, unless that's the moon. These are definitely not stars, that's for sure. So something's being sighted in Cape Cod tonight. And here we have a press release from the Harwich Police Department in Massachusetts. Unmanned aircraft system activity over Harwich. On December 12, 2024, a resident of Harwich called to report unknown drone activity over her residence. The resident reported going outside around 9 p.m. where she observed 10 to 15 drones. The resident could not hear the drones but stated they were very bright, and she observed these for over an hour. That same night around 6 p.m., an off-duty Harwich officer also noted similar drone activity near the public safety complex on Sisson Road. We have forwarded all the information we have received to the Boston FBI office and the Massachusetts State Police. We will continue to work with our state and federal partners. The drones are similar to the ones reported over the last couple of weeks over New Jersey, New York, and most recently over Connecticut. So this is very, very serious, guys. Very serious. You know, this could be China or Russia scouting out our coastal defenses in the event of an invasion, if they're planning to invade, they're scouting out our bases. I mean, this is very, very concerning. Or they could be aliens. I don't know. Here we have some audio from a police scanner in Pequannock, New Jersey, Morris County, New Jersey. Somebody reported a drone crashing in their backyard.
County for 85. What was the exact call? That this wasn't actually somewhat crash or heard a crash?
Per the caller, a drone fell out of the sky by the power lines behind their house. And then 10 more showed up.
Wow. And then 10 more showed up. We've heard the caller. Listen.
Caller, a drone fell out of the sky by the power lines behind their house. And then 10 more showed up.
Wow, 10 more showed up. And there have been multiple instances of drones entering the airspace at a Navy weapons station in New Jersey. Officials there said Friday. Naval Weapons Station Earl, which is located in Colts Neck, New Jersey, said it was aware of the sightings in the region and continues to closely coordinate with federal and state agencies to ensure the safety of our personnel and operations. While no direct threats to the installation have been identified, we can confirm multiple instances of unidentified drones entering the airspace above Naval Weapons Station Earl. Bill Addison, Public Affairs Officer for the Naval Station, said in a statement to ABC News, "The base remains prepared to respond to any potential risks, leveraging robust security measures and advanced detection capabilities." So if you don't know what Earl is, it's not far from New York City. It's a giant naval weapons station. They store all kinds of rockets and missiles and torpedoes there. And here we have a news clip coming from Ocean County, New Jersey.
One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer.
A sworn officer, yes.
A sworn officer for Ocean County in New Jersey, sworn law enforcement officer, said he saw 50 drones coming off the ocean. And the sheriff here is confirming that that's legit.
We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
Wingspan of about 8 feet.
You know, the Ocean County Sheriff, that drone unit, they have an industrial grade drone. They put it up. They were tracking one of these drones, Elizabeth, and they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So, you know, to me, it's if this is not our military, then it's even more scary, and we need the answers, frankly.
Wow. Easily evaded their drones.
Elizabeth, and they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So
they have industrial grade drones, guys, not like little, hobby drones that you buy from DJI. We're talking about, drones that are 4 or 5 feet, and they could easily evade those police drones. That is crazy. So this leads me to believe that either it's Russia or China, or these are aliens. And we had U.S. nuclear forces on high alert earlier this afternoon, and earlier this evening there were a bunch of nuclear attack options broadcasted. And what you're looking at here is a nuclear war command and control plane that was in the Gulf of Mexico communicating with our submerged nuclear-armed submarines. We also had this sub-hunter off the coast of Washington, and that's concerning because in Washington we have Bangor Kitsap, which is basically where we have all or most 90% of our Trident missiles are stored there. The Trident missiles are the missiles on our nuclear-armed submarines. In addition to that, we have 2/3 of our nuclear-armed subs at Bangor Kitsap. Okay, so massive sub base there in the Puget Sound. Most of our nuclear-armed subs and our Trident missiles are stored there, and we had a sub hunter off the coast in that area. Also, At the same time, we had a nuke sniffer plane and a combat scent plane airborne over the Midwest. There's only 2 combat scent planes in the entire U.S. military, so if one of them is airborne, it means something is going on. They provide intelligence directly to the president. And the nuke sniffer is a special plane to detect radiation in the atmosphere. And here's a closer look at the nuke sniffer and the combat scent. And here's the nuke sniffer looping over STRATCOM earlier this afternoon. We also had some very unusual and concerning reconnaissance activity over the Baltics and Russian Air Force activity. This was late last night, early this morning. Here you can see a Russian doomsday plane that left Moscow and went east to the Urals and then disappeared from the flight tracker. This is the second Russian doomsday plane that went to the Urals and Siberia in the last 48 hours. Now, there was also a Russian Air Force plane that went to Kaliningrad, and this Swedish reconnaissance plane did something very unusual last night that I've never seen it do. Normally, the Swedish recon planes go to Poland, and they fly along the Polish-Russian border or the Polish-Belarusian border. But last night, this Swedish recon plane was patrolling the border of Belarus with Lithuania and Latvia, and basically patrolling the border of Russia and Belarus with the Baltics, okay? And also at the same time, a Latvian Air Force helicopter was patrolling the Latvian border with Russia and Belarus. So something is brewing here in the Baltics for this Swedish recon plane to be patrolling that border like that. Here's a closer look at the Russian doomsday plane going east to Siberia. And the U.S. Army and Navy successfully tested a conventional hypersonic missile yesterday. The U.S. Army's Rapid Capabilities and Critical Technologies Office, in collaboration with the U.S. Navy Strategic Systems Programs, recently completed a successful end-to-end flight test of a conventional hypersonic missile from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida. This test builds on several flight tests in which the common hypersonic glide body achieved hypersonic speed at target distances and demonstrates that we can put this capability in the hands of the warfighter, said Secretary of the Army Christine Wormuth. This is the second successful end-to-end flight test of the all-up round this year and was the first live fire event for the long-range hypersonic weapon system using a battery operations center and a transporter erector launcher. Okay, so this thing is a truck-mounted system. They have a giant 18-wheeler, and the missile is inside of the 18-wheeler, and they launch the missile from the 18-wheeler. Okay, very similar to what Russia has, their transporter erector launchers. This is a huge capability for the United States. They can move this thing anywhere, and it can reach thousands of miles. I've heard the range is like 4,000 to 5,000 miles. Okay, so this is absolutely huge news. And Chinese President Xi Jinping rejected Donald Trump's invitation to his inauguration. According to CBS, instead of Xi Jinping, the event will be attended by a high-ranking delegation, including the Chinese ambassador to the U.S. and his wife. And Donald Trump is planning to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons, and he's considering the possibility of airstrikes on Iran. This was reported by the Wall Street Journal. Okay, so Trump planning airstrikes on Iran. Wow. Okay. And the Israeli defense minister has ordered Israeli troops to prepare to remain on Mount Hermon through the rest of the winter. This is huge news. So all of Mount Hermon is now back under Israeli control. This is biblical, guys. Okay, Mount Hermon is in the Bible. That's where the Battle of Armageddon takes place. And Ukraine has launched a massive drone attack on Russia tonight with over 200 drones targeting various regions of Russia. And apparently Trump told French President Emmanuel Macron that he wants European troops to monitor a potential ceasefire in Ukraine, according to the Wall Street Journal. Trump also reportedly opposed inviting Ukraine to NATO. Trump said the Middle East is going to get solved. I think it's more complicated than the Russia-Ukraine war, but I think it's easier to solve. I don't want people killed. I don't want people from either side killed, and that includes whether it's Russia, Ukraine, or whether it's the Palestinians and the Israelis. So if you guys recall, Trump met with Macron and Zelensky, 2 weeks ago? And now Macron is traveling to Poland because apparently there's going to be this 40,000 strong force that's going to be deployed into Ukraine. And it's going to consist of 5 brigades. And one of those brigades is going to be a Polish brigade. Okay, so that's 8,000 troops per brigade. So Poland is going to send 8,000 troops into Ukraine if there is some kind of a ceasefire deal between Ukraine and Russia, and they're going to be patrolling the border. This is huge, guys. This is historic. NATO troops going to Ukraine as peacekeepers. I mean, guys, think of all the different ways that this could go wrong and escalate into a full-blown nuclear conflict. If something were to happen, if there's like a demilitarized zone in Ukraine, and what happens if a Polish soldier gets killed, or an American soldier, or a French soldier, okay? Russia sends a drone or something, okay? I mean, this is just really, really serious. And the Biden administration is undertaking a historic effort to move massive quantities of weapons into Ukraine in the next 5 weeks, according to CNN. Okay, so historic effort. And 50% of consumers in Ukraine are without power after Russia attacked the electric grid in a massive strike last night. Below freezing temperatures are occurring in all of Ukraine. And according to President Zelensky, at least 93 missiles and 200 drones were launched by Russia last night. 81 missiles were shot down, including 11 by F-16 fighter jets. And what you're looking at here is a U.S. Air Force C-5 super heavy military cargo plane going down to Qatar from Ramstein. This was tonight. Very interesting. Massive amount of equipment, something really heavy, was moved to Qatar tonight. And South Korea has been patrolling their border with North Korea all day and all night today. So something is going on over here in Korea. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be in and out of the 24/7 stream tonight and this weekend, monitoring the emergency action messages with my home radio system. I'm very concerned that Putin is going to launch a massive strike on Ukraine. Just the other day, there was satellite imagery that indicated that Putin was preparing up to 20 Oreshniks, 20 ICBMs that they're going to launch at Ukraine, which is just insane, guys. Okay, and remember, like 3 weeks ago, Putin said that a lot of Oreshniks could have the same effect on Ukraine as a nuclear strike. Okay, multiple Oreshniks striking Ukraine all over Ukraine could have the same effect. Okay, that's what he said. And he also said they could go after decision-making centers. Okay, so that means Zelensky's compound, Zelensky's palace, the Ukrainian parliament, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, Ukrainian intelligence services, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so things are really spiraling out of control. I will be monitoring the drones and updating you guys. And I will be back tomorrow with more updates. So make sure you're tuned into my 24/7 stream throughout the day so you can hear news as it comes in. We have some fantastic moderators on the live stream that update the stream with breaking news. So until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.